The NFL has been kind enough to let us have the Lombardi Trophy on the set
Mm-mm.
here, and it's sitting right in between us. What did it mean to you to lift this? Knowing, again, your story. A lot of folks think they know your story, but the amount of time and effort you took to put in to never give in to those who said you can't
Right.
all came to a head the night
Yeah.
that you won this in this town, by
Right.
the way.
I mean, I think that's the amazing thing was how quickly things happened for me once I got into the league. And so, yeah, I mean, you dream of winning that trophy and winning the Super Bowl and being a part of that. But for me, it was so much more because it happened so quickly, and it was that first year that I was starting, and to go on to win the Super Bowl. It meant more than even winning the Super Bowl, I think, for me, because it was the journey, and it was the people that said you had no chance, and it was the moments that I remember sitting there with my wife going, "Is it just time to give up? Is it time to let the dream go?"
How
And just
often
move on
did
to
you
some
have that chat with Brenda, do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if we had it a lot, but we had it a few times where, you know, you have those people that are in your life that want to support everything you do,
Mhm.
but they give you that look like, I'm supporting you, but come on, dude. I mean, really, it's probably not going to happen at this point. It's just, so at some point you have to let it go. I mean, I think about that with my kids. My kids have the dream of playing in the NFL and doing that, and I've got one that's playing in college now, and
Nebraska.
right in Nebraska, and one that's just 14, a freshman. But I just think to myself, for most people, it comes to an end at some point, and I've got to be ready as a dad to go, okay, it's been great, but maybe this is the end for you. And that's how the people, my parents, my wife, as much as they wanted to support me and help me along this path. I mean, you get to be 26, 27, and it's like, I love you, dear. And maybe the thing I have to tell you is it's time to let it go. And I tell people all the time that, they say, wow, how do you keep going? How do you keep going when you're working in a grocery store and you're doing that sort of stuff? The funny thing for me was that everybody looks at sitting on the bench for 4 years and getting cut by Green Bay and going to the grocery store. And all I ever looked at was every time I played football, every time I was between the lines, my 1 year in college, player of the year in our conference. When I played in arena football, we went to 2 championships. I was the best quarterback in the league when I went to Europe. And so what kept me going was nobody's ever shown me. I've never stepped on a field and not been able to be successful. And so I think that's what would have just killed me is had I walked away, never given the opportunity to succeed. I didn't want to be that guy that was 47 years old sitting on the couch going, man, if I would have just got the opportunity, I could have done it. So that's what kept me going was just I need that one legitimate chance to prove I can play, and thank goodness it came from St. Louis Rams.
Yeah, and then came the opportunity to play in this game again here in this town in Atlanta. Right. What was it like for you that week? I never asked you this. Where again, maybe doubts could have creeped in again. There's a lot of time between arrival and kickoff. Right. I mean, what was it like for you that week, knowing that the opportunity to cap it all off was right there?
The interesting thing is, at that time, there was no week in between.
That's right.
So it was bang right into Super Bowl. So you really didn't have a week to think about it. And
so that bruiser against Tampa,
right? Exactly.
Happened on Sunday,
right? And you turn around. And
were you in Atlanta by Monday?
I can't remember if we left on Monday because I think they had preparations the week before, like. If we win this game, here's what we've got, and here's what we're going to do, and here's when we're leaving, and all that stuff. So I do believe we left on Monday. But the one blessing of that was you just hand over all the hotels and tickets and everything to your wife, and hey, you guys take care of this. But the other crazy thing about that week was at that time, they gave out all the awards, for the season the week leading up to Super Bowl.
Right.
And so what I remember is that it was practice and then it was media. And then I had to be whisked over to some banquet and I got like the MVP award. And so there was so much going on that week that I was completely exhausted when the game came. I remember thinking to myself, can we just get this game over? I mean, this is the biggest game of my life. And I'm thinking, can we just get this game over with so I can relax? So it had worn me out throughout the week. And, it was disappointing because obviously you want to enjoy it and you enjoy the moment, you enjoy the 3 hours. But as I went back to the other Super Bowls later on, I was able to take more of a deep breath and have a perspective on enjoying the moment that I'm in, because they are so rare. But that first one was really crazy, and I was worn out. I was tired because I just didn't know how to handle it all, being that everything happened so fast.
Well, Kurt Warner here on the Rich Eisen Show. Of that story, some things that would definitely not happen again. One is no bye week. That will never happen again.
Right.
We will always have a bye week in between.
Yep.
Certainly now that they're playing the Pro Bowl in between, and now we also know in terms of, for sure, bodies and rest and health and
doubt.
just the week off is a must-have.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you were taken to a banquet during Super Bowl week as the quarterback of a team.
Right.
I mean, not even last year, night before the game, on an honors night, there's no, like, Brady wasn't going to, anyway, on this green earth.
Exactly.
Without a very warm other place freezing over, would he have been presented to accept that award for even 10 minutes with a police escort from the hotel and back? Like, hey, Tom, round trip, Bill Belichick, round trip, it would be 45 minutes tops.
Right.
Just dress, go, and come back.
Yeah.
Never.
You
went to a banquet the week of the Super Bowl?
Exactly. A couple of them, actually. And, you know, the thing is
that's crazy.
I mean, I just didn't know how to say no. I mean, I think now, you know, like, you'll see it at honors if somebody wins it that's in the game.
Yeah, someone's going to
they'll give you a video, right?
Yeah,
right?
They'll
give you a 5-minute video,
nice
or whatever,
video,
you know, from your hotel room. But I mean, at that point, I didn't know how to tell anybody no. It was like, oh, somebody wants to, okay, great.
But for meals, like, no problem, go. I mean, because I guess you don't even.
I don't remember what he said. I just know somebody grabbed me, and, you know, I do remember there was some police escorts. They took us to some great fast food restaurants, and I got some
nice
orange slushies and stuff along the way.
There you go.
So that was the highlight in between all those trips. But yeah, it was a crazy week.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.